That's really burning deep down to me. And a lot of times, this is called, we're talking about demonic influences, and we're talking about the mind. And a lot of times, us as churches sometimes kind of skip around this, and we don't even equip people for the fight that we in, because it's kind of, for some of us, it's uncomfortable for us to even talk about demonic activity and influences and spirits and things of that nature. So sometimes we just ignore it, and we don't even equip the saints. How we got to this place is that some time ago I was talking to Deke, and he was talking about, he reminded me, he said God had revealed to him that every hospital visit we went to was dealing with the mind. We had the first one that was the aneurysm. We had a couple seizures. We had the brain death. We was on the mental floor. And we had all these things dealing with the mind. And so we felt that God was telling us something. We wanted to know why the enemy is attacking the mind and why God is sending us out to go pray for these people. And people was getting healed, and all these things. And then we also realized that our own minister, Minister Perry, when he came over here, he had some influences and spirits that was trying to hold him back from being able to learn and read and comprehend and just go about normal life as usually. It was trying to attack him in every area of his life. Because if you get the mind, you got the body. Mm-hmm. You get the mind, you got the body. And so we realized that God doing something, and He's strategically letting us know about the mind and what's going on. And we understand that the power is resting on us and in us, and even in this place, because minister, and before a year was up, he was reading, he was articulating, he was getting his point across, he was taking his time, he just wasn't jumping up and hollering. He was deliberately and effectively speaking the word of God. He was articulate, and he know how to minister to the person, and so that they understand. And that was one of the things that he suffered from. So we understand that, and we know that the power of God is in this place. And so now we're trying to get equipped to know what God is doing. The power is here, but you also got to have knowledge behind the power. So so we can strategically go into warfare. We know what to attack, what to look for, what area, what to pray for. Because if we don't know where it's coming from, if I don't know your situation, what's going on, I don't know what to pray, how they getting in. You know what I mean? So we want, at the end of this, we want to identify how they getting in for me. And so sometimes people think because you save, you're dripping with oil, and you go to church every Sunday, you pay your tithe, that the enemy not fighting you. And that's a lie. And the scripture that we had last Sunday in Sunday school was, it was in 2 Corinthians 2:11. It talked about least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his fight. It says least Satan should get advantage of us. And it's talking about the Christians. You say, well, how can I be saved and I got all this power and I got healing? How can Satan have advantage of me? He have advantage of you when you're not knowledgeable about what's going on. When you don't know, he'll attack you in the area that you don't know. And guess what? You don't even know it. And so it's possible to be a Christian, go to church, speaking in tongues, being holy, fast, all this stuff, and still Satan have advantage over you. It's possible. It's possible. And so now we equipping the saints. We shifted and we moving into another realm. Well, we ain't just having fun. We ain't just having church no more. We equipped and we talk about some real stuff and what's going on. And whoever, and for far as leadership, what you'll see with me is either you in or you out. And as far as my part, if you're in leadership, especially a minister or something like that, if you're not living what you're saying, then you ain't preaching. Not here. If you're not living what you're saying, you're not preaching here. Point blank. Point blank. If you're not, matter of fact, you ain't even a preacher. Because it first got to be inside of you before it can come outside of you. Mm-hmm. And so that's my thing. That's my thing. So now because if we don't address that issue, the enemy will always have foothold. And we see it in little glimpses of miracles and little pieces of miracles, but we ain't seeing it in the way we should see it because we got some issues. Because we just got some issues. And so we're addressing these issues. So now I'm going to talk today, I'm going to try to get through this. And we got 2 Tuesdays, right? So I'm going to try to push this before we go to our couples thing. It's like 7 pages. I'm going to try to get 4 tonight and 3 the next night. And so it's going to be kind of fast. I'm going to try not to get too excited, but it's something that God had put in my heart. And this is even hard to deal with. A lot of churches will just skip it and won't deal with it because it calls you to deal with yourself first and then to address whatever issue you see. You know what I mean? And if I'm thinking if we're going to do it, we're going to do it, all of us. And I got issues too, but we're going to do it. But what I'm saying is you can't live in that stuff.
No, you can't stay there.
You can't live in that stuff, you know? And so we're gonna address this. And so we're talking about demonic influence. And we're talking about, when we talk about this, a lot of people think that a spirit jumped in them and just control everything they do. And we see that on TV, and so we get that in our mind, and that's not how it is. Even in the Bible, when Jesus was casting out demons, it always is in the mind. Because you saved, the spirit inside of you is already saved. He can't get inside the saved spirit. The kingdom is with you. He can't get in the whole, but he can get in your mind. Is talk about being renewed every day. So it's being renewed every day so that he won't take control of your mind. And so whenever he cast them out, it was in the mind of them. It was in their mind. Because your mind is not saved. That's why we have them crazy thoughts. I know y'all don't have that, but that's why I have all them crazy thoughts every now and then. And dreams and everything. Even when I'm preaching. Yeah, I don't want to go for that. But that's why I have all that stuff. Because he attacked my mind. You know, he attacking my mind. He attacking our mind. He don't jump in our body and but he get in our mind, and if he control the mind, he control our body. He control our body. And so the first goal of demons is to prevent us from receiving salvation. And if that fails, they work to prevent us from Christian maturity. So first thing they try to do, they try to stop us from getting saved. We start questioning everything. Are we saved? Or should I get saved? Or how do I got to get baptized? All kind of questions start coming up. He tried to stop you from even believing or getting you saved, believing that you got salvation. Because if you don't do that, you'll keep going back out there. Or it'll keep you from coming back to church. He got you right there because you don't even believe you salvation meaning saved. And salvation is deliverance, it's healing, it's all this stuff that's included in salvation. And so, give her one of those fingers. And so what he does is, he try to stop us from thinking that we saved. So we'll say little stuff like, well, I did this yesterday. And he'll say, well, you ain't saved because you did this yesterday. And that's just one of the schemes and the plots of the enemy to make you think that you ain't saved because of something you did. But the truth is that it's nothing that you can do to get saved except Jesus. So if you can't get it yourself, you can't lose it yourself by what you do. Now, if he can't stop us from salvation, he try to stop us or prevent us from Christian maturity, from growing up. That's what happened a lot in the church because we don't teach, and we'll yell and scream, and we'll sing, we'll do all this stuff, and nobody will never grow. And so you'll have a person that's been in church 15, 20 years, still struggling with drinking, smoking, fornication, all this stuff that should have been handled at the beginning of their salvation. And because they held on it for so long, it's even stronger than it was before. It's even stronger than it was before. And so the Bible says it this way in Galatians. It says that a child differeth nothing from a servant. And so if you remain a child in Christ, you're different nothing from a slave. Why? Because you everywhere. You're just doing anything. So you're different. You're going to heaven, but you're different nothing from a slave. Because you're all over the place. Why? Because you don't know. You don't know. You'll be going here, searching for something. And you don't even know because you haven't sat still and listened to what the God said. And if you remain a child, you will never have no power in God. Because the power, the faith, and the righteousness, all that go together. You got to be righteous. You got to live holy. You got to be purified. You got to be sanctified. You got to be justified. You get all this go. They're talking about anointing. You want to be anointed? You stop sinning.
That's it.
Stop sinning. If you want to be anointed, stop sinning and get in the presence of God. Pray, fast. And if you don't fast, you won't last. If you don't pray, you won't stay. It's just like that. It's just like that. And so he'll try to keep us as babes. We saved. And sometimes we don't even know we saved. We just hear, just come because grandma say come or whatever. But he'll keep us as babes in Christ, and we'll never reap the benefits of being saved. We won't be knowledgeable of them. We don't know how to attain them. We don't know how to get in God and bring God down right now where we know He here. You know, just like our brother, we step into the blessed house, we get in there, we started praising. Next thing you know, people speaking in tongues, everything. We were blessing the house. Everybody else was getting people coming downstairs. We was like, good God Almighty. Deep walking around, he know the Holy Ghost. I know when he know the Holy Ghost there. He don't say she out here. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. And so when you grow up in God and you spend time in God with yourself and that secret place, and if it's happening in that secret place, you can bring it to a public place. But if it ain't happening to a secret place, it'll never happen in public. It'll never happen in public. But it got to happen in private before it can happen in public. And so we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to be mature. It said they try to shut us down and make us ineffective. Their chief strategy is to get people to turn away from God. They try to make us ineffective. That means you can be saved and with no power. You can be saved with no power. We ain't even teaching power now. We teaching all the principles, and the principles are great. We got to follow the principles, because the principles that lead us to good success. But you got to have power with it. You got to have doctrine and demonstrations. You got to have principles and power. That's the full gospel. The full gospel ain't just quoting the script, Bible scripture, and ain't nothing happening. When they had church in the New Testament, something happened. They just won't say in the scriptures. They just won't say in the word and never seeing no demonstration or manifestation of what they were saying. Now we just hear and just saying it and ain't even looking for nothing to happen. We just saying it. And so that's how the enemy renders us ineffective. Because we don't even move and do what Jesus. The example is Jesus. We're supposed to do what Jesus did. It ain't the church or your old pastor. We're supposed to be doing exactly what he did. He spoke the word and things happened. He spoke the word and things. So they'll try to render us ineffective. You know, and their chief strategy is to get us to turn away from God. A lot of times he get us to turn away from God because we'll stay connected to sin. It'll just have a stronghold on us. Or the spirit of offense. That's one of the chief things of the enemy is you'll get offended easy. And so you'll leave it. That's like with a marriage or whatever. They hurt your feelings or you thinking right. And so you just boom, 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 boom. And if you stay like that, you'll always be like that. With everything. And so that's called the spirit of offense. That's that's being offended over anything or everything. And so that's how he renders us ineffective. They do this through many forms of temptations. Look, temptation, harassments, and also from challenging God and his word. Demons lie to us and work hard to have us lie to ourselves. We allow them, look, this is what we do. We allow them to convince us that we're not saved because of something we did. Or do we allow them to convince us, it just ain't learning nothing, so it ain't going to happen. I can't get it like them. We're looking at other people. I ain't getting it like them. Or it ain't coming fast enough. And so he instill all this doubt and all these lies, and we believe it, and then they make us nothing, ineffective. You know, that's his thing. He instilled doubt. The Bible says that he's a liar. He's a liar and the father of it. So he is a liar. And so what we do is we allow him to lie to us, and we believe it. We believe the lie. We believe the lie. Another form of harassment is accusation and criticism. Accusations. That's just let people be accusing you. They're accusing you of stuff. Be it you did or not. They just accuse you. They call them the accuser of the brethren. When you run around accusing, that's a spirit. It's a demon. When you run around accusing somebody, just keep accusing somebody, that's a demon. That's accusations. That's accusations. And so, and criticism, we criticize people. We just criticize, not love. We can't be in love and criticism at the same time. Now, we can be in correction, but criticism, just criticizing people, making them feel low, just beating them down. And from my experience, at one time, when I was dealing with women and living the way I beat them down. I beat them down so much, they stopped fighting. They tired, they wore out. So now I just run over top of them like nothing. Because I done beat them down with the word. With my words. With the enemy words. And so that's what the enemy tried. He tried to beat you down with criticism. He criticized you. You didn't do this right. You didn't do that right. You should have did that, or you should have went to your church. You didn't do this. All this, I just criticize, and he just harass you, accusations, blaming you, and so this way we allow this to weigh on us. But that's his job. That's his job, and he's trying to weigh us down so that we will stop fighting. We will stop fighting. It said demons will interject condemning thoughts into your mind, to the minds of the believers. So the demons will interject, condemn. They will condemn. You'll be thinking, I'm going to hell because I did this yesterday, or I did that, or he can't forgive me because I did that in 73. I know he won't forgive that one. You know what I mean? That's a bad one. It doesn't, and all of them is equal as far as the debt to sin. But so he'll condemn you, make you feel so bad. But that was way bad. That was. I did that to my family, or I did that to the kid, or I did that to and God still forgive. He still forgive. He said, I shot that person, I stabbed that, whatever. And so he'll think you condemn. He'll make you think that you get to condemn. And so they particularly like to stir up the past with thoughts of, you really should have, or if only you had done this differently. You know, y'all ever experienced that? You know, you should have did this, if only you would have did this differently. But yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. The only day we got is now. I can do it today. I'm doing it today. Forget yesterday. Tomorrow, I ain't guaranteed to be here tomorrow. That's gone. He paid for that. It's over. It's gone. And I'm starting now. And every day I get up and my feet hit the ground, I'm starting again. I just starting over again. And so that's why I say, give us this day our daily. I need it now. Yesterday ain't going to work. I need it now. I need him now. I need his grace now. I need his power now. I need his deliverance now. I need his healing now. I need now. Yesterday gone. I messed up yesterday. I blew that one. But it's that one gone, so I'm back on focus. I'm back into it. I'm back into it. And so demons are on the seek and destroy mission. This is what people don't understand. They're trying to kill you. These demons, these spirits, these things that's playing mind and the attacks on you are trying to kill you. Kill your marriage, kill your relationships, kill with kids and family. They seeking and trying to destroy you. So they seek and they try to destroy. That's the mission of them. That's a mission. That means that's their only assignment. That means they plotting and they scheming and they finding and they looking. They said the enemy, he said, when he was looking for Job, he said, I'm going to and fro looking. I'm seeking who I make. I'm looking for somebody I can jump on. I'm looking for somebody that got an opening. I'm just looking for an opening, and one way they ain't looking right. One thing they got wrong or something they keep doing. I'm just looking, trying to find my way to get in. I'm looking for something. I'm scheming. Just like we plotted against women and men, and we watching them from afar, and we saying, oh, she look good. I'm going to get her. Just wait. And so that's what the enemy do. They say, yeah, I see. I'm watching every move. I see where they're going at. I see what they're doing. And so now he devising the scheme to how do I get in? How do I cause a wedge between the marriage? How do I stop them from going to church? How do I get them back out there? I make them feel offended. I bring some accusations. I bring some criticisms. I harass them. I condemn them. I tell them they ain't nothing. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't really no Christian, because if you was a Christian, you would have did that. That's demons. That's the attack on your mind. That's the attack. That's the attack. Mind games. That's the attack. That's the whole attack. And so the thing about this is they work together and strategize. They work together. Now, I can't even say that about the church. That's what's crazy about it. They say a house divided won't stand. They try to say Jesus was casting out Beelzebub by Beelzebub. Casting out the demons by Beelzebub. Right? That's what they try to say. And they say a house divided can't stand. What that means is that they regimented, they together, they work together, they trying to kill you together, and we are here separated fighting each other. You know, and so we'll fight each other in our marriage. We'll fight each other with our kids. Everybody fighting each other. Everybody want to do their own thing. We don't want the order of God. We don't want the authority of God. We don't want the divine design of God or how it's supposed to be. Everybody want to do their own thing. And so then he creep in there and he wreck havoc. When you get out of the order of God, it's a fight. and you come out of the protection of God and the provision of God. And so they strategize together. They're on a mission together. And we all separate. We all separate. They take advantage of our weakness, and they love times when people are either physically and emotionally weak and vulnerable. So when you're sick, or when you're sick in your body, or even in your mind, they try to take advantage of you. It's just like you fighting a weaker person, and you just dogging, you showing off. You ever see somebody boxing, they put their dates, and they show, hey, blah, 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 blah. And so they see you weak, they know you're sick, you got maybe some mental issues, maybe some physical issues. And so they just show off. They just say, I'm going to take advantage of that. 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 And so they attempt to affect all areas of a person's body, soul, and spirit. They don't play fair. They just don't play fair. They try to get your body, your soul, and your spirit. All that. Your soul, as the soulless realm, is your mind, your will, your imagination, your will, and your emotion. That's the attack. Your emotions, your will, and your imagination. What do you mean, Pastor? Imagination, when I've been thinking about that girl when I was masturbating. I'm talking about it. Or that's imagination. When I was dreaming about such and such, and she had or he had that's imagination. That's imagination. Your will is you just want to do it your way. You don't want to do it God's way. I know, but I'm just going to do it this way. But God said we're supposed to do it this way. Your emotion, I feel like, but what the Bible say? And he talking about how you feel. Hey, that's your emotion. He said, what did the Bible say about it? And so he attacked us, and in our soulless room, that's our soulless room, our imagination, our will, and our emotion. And so that's what he attacked. And so they said there's several ways by which demons oppress people. They afflict, they harass, they influence, they oppress, they torment, they torture, they worry, and wrong. I done had all 8 of these. After the 8, I got a new beginning. But look, they had all of these, right? And so they afflict. Afflict, that's to inflict something hard to endure. They afflict stuff on you. What that mean? They cause your boss to give you a hard time all the time. I mean, for nothing. You ain't done nothing. You trying to, I ain't bothering nobody. And my baby ain't never did nothing to nobody. And you still got to smoke that regular pot, right? Yeah. And so they afflict, they cause people to just be mean to you. You ain't done that to them. Or just to say something smart, and they know you're a smacking butt. They still say it anyway. And so they afflict, they just send people at you to try you. To afflict something on you. To afflict something on you. Hard for you to do. They harass, to annoy or disturb persistently. To wear you out by frequent attack. They harass you and keep coming. Something keep coming. It's one thing I hear people say, it's one thing after another. You know, I get this kid right, then this kid right there. And this kid right there. I'm getting tired. I don't know what this is. Look, they're grown too. What else? And they're harassing. And so it's in. And so now, this is a way now you're tired, you weak, you physically drained, you in your emotions. You know that you want to do it your will. Now you're in your imagination too. But all this going on sometime in the inside, and the enemy just playing on that. And then now you're at a vulnerable moment. And now you say, you know what? I need a cigarette or something. You ain't smoked in 5 years. I need a cigarette or something. I can't do this. I'm tired of this. I just want a puff or something. I just want a puff. Say, man, anybody got in a butt or something? I don't think I'm going to make it. I had a cigarette, right? Let's give me a taste of the drink. Give me a cat food. Let's give me a cat food. Boy, my nerves bad. These kids drive me crazy. I had to pick him up from the jail. He got in an accident. They didn't know the boy OD'd. What they doing? I didn't even know he got high. Man, it's just, they harassing. Harassing. And it's one thing, it's just boom, one thing after another. One thing. I got this straightened out, now this coming. I got this straightened out, and now this coming. I can't win for losing. And then you grow weary. We go weary. You know? And so that's a plan. That's a scheme. That's an attack. That's the wiles of the devil. It's smart, he's subtle. And so he know. He try to wear you out. And so they're talking about the influence. To exercise direct power over in order to sway or affect. Influence. He tried to influence you. One of the biggest ways that he tried to influence us through people. Through relationships. Because we trust people. We got feelings. emotions for people. And so he'll use people to influence us not to do what we're supposed to do. Just because we feel for that person. Just because I'm connected to that person. That's one of the ways that he'll use influence because of the connection we had to somebody else. Because of the emotional attachment we had to somebody else. He influenced us through another person. Influence. We know what influence is. We know what influence is when peer pressure. When we was a kid, even if you didn't want to do it, they was doing it. They said, "Come on, man," and you really don't like it, but we all doing it. And then next day they influence you so much, we give in. And then one of the influences is, I think one of the big things is, I'm just saying around here, and in my experience, I ain't saying everywhere, but I go to church and it be everybody in there every Sunday. They pay tithes, they do everything. Every Saturday they're at the club. And that was kind of, I couldn't understand that at first because I came to get myself together. I was tired, man. I can't get, but everybody else, I'm telling you, I look around, everybody else would drink, party, and they do this every Sunday. They come up and preach. They come to, every Sunday. And I was like, that's an influence. And then we'll get in there and sit in there. It's hard to sit here, I'm going to tell you right now. It's hard to sit in this one right here, boy. But I know it's hard for me to be here. But look, you'll get in there and you'll feel like you're all right because we'll look at everybody else. You're like, I'm all right, I ain't like them. And you ain't like them. And so, and we think we're okay. Or you sit there long enough, that influence will get on you. That spirit, because the influence is a spirit. It'll last to you. You say, I'm too strong for that. That won't my thing. People always talk about, I ain't none of that won't my thing at first. I ain't had no thing at first. Yeah, you think I came out the womb with a thing? I like it. And so we compare stuff. You think I just liked it? No, a spirit jumped on me. Huh? It came down from a generation. It came down from the environment. It came from the environment. It came from my connection to the people. You think it just came? One day I'm gonna just do dope and that's a good idea. Where you want to be, Johnny, when you grow up? I want to get high. Oh, you think I just did that? No, it came by influence. It came by the people I was surrounded with. It came by the people I hung out with. It came by my family who I seen done it. The influence that had over my mind. Even though I didn't like it. I thought, I got used to it. You know what? Just like the killings, you'll get used to it after a while. It just don't mean that. I made it like that last death. I said, people crazy. I said, death ain't even nothing no more. I said, when I seen that, I said, death don't even mean nothing to nobody no more. Body don't mean nothing. Making them up don't mean, flies don't mean. I was like, hey, we done got so used to it, our conscience, I see it, and it just don't mean that. It happen all the time. But people get shot all the time. When people go to church and club and have sex, it's just what it is. It's what people do. It's wrong. And it's demonic. It ain't what the Bible tells us to do. Just because they're doing it, it don't mean we're supposed to do it. And so we got to watch our influence. They oppress. To lure in spirit and move. They oppress you. It's a spirit of oppression. A spirit of oppression. What that mean is, you just down. You don't know why you're down. Sometimes you don't even know, I ain't feeling the day, I ain't going nowhere. I just don't want to go. No, I'm all right. But I don't feel like, cut the phone off. I don't want to talk. I see some people cut the lights off, cold black in the room. It's dark there, ain't nothing going on. They just sitting there. Oppressed. It's weighing on. It's just weighing on. It's weighing on. That's a spirit. That's a spirit. Oppressed. That's what they called the slaves, was oppressed, right? Yeah, oppressed. They were just there. They couldn't go nowhere. They just oppressed. Just under the command of the master. So we under the command of the spirit, a demonic spirit. You know what I mean? And people talking about, oh, you ain't in the Christian spirit. I'm saying, you sure you're in the Christian spirit or just a spirit? Huh? Because they talk, I'm in the Christian spirit. You want to drink in the Christian. No, that's a demonic spirit. The Christian spirit is you thinking Jesus for being born. Mm-hmm. You saying that, and they saying it. No, I'm spirit, Christian spirit. Yeah, you're right. It's a spirit. It's you show right. It is a spirit. It's a spirit. It's definitely a spirit. And it make you want to do all kinds of stuff. As soon as that time in. And so they torment it to cause severe suffering of the body and mind. We could talk about the body. You know, your body started to fail you. It's tormenting you, you're in pain, and you know, things like that's not from God. All sickness and sin and everything associated with that, it's not from God. It's not. It came because of sin, death, sickness, all of that stuff came by sin. You know, and so it torments in your body when that's not from God. And that can cause you to walk away from the faith. Because you go, well, God, letting this happen. You know, it's all a lot of variables. But the thing is deliverance is there. You can get healed. You can get deliverance. And if you don't get deliverance, you can get so much peace that you don't even feel it while you're going through. You can just walk through it like it ain't nothing. You can get to that place where even though it's tormenting you, you still don't feel the pain. Or the pain is bearable when it should be unbearable. A lot of people just want it to go away, but God can give you grace in it and you can just get through it. He can give you grace and you can just get through it. And the worst torment is in your mind. Because don't nobody know that's going on. It's going on in your mind and they can't understand why you're doing what you're doing. They can't understand. Oh, he's crazy, he's this and that. But you don't understand the fight that I got in my mind. I'm trying to tell you I'm staying away from this because I know it'll suck me in. You don't understand that it'll suck me in? Do you want to go back to where we used to be at? Do you want to go back to where I started at? You don't understand these little teeny things, one after another, they triggering something inside of me. They waking up. That thing that was dead is starting to wake up. It's waking up. And so, the people don't understand. So, it's in my, even though it don't bother you, it bothers me. And if it bothers me long enough, it ain't going to be no more us. It ain't going to be no more us. That's the reality. It can't be no more us. Because when I go back, it's going to be 7 times worse than it was before. Biblically. It ain't even going to go back to where it was. It's going to go back worse than it was. When I go back, it's going to be even stronger, harder, tougher, and more of it. A whole lot more of it. And in abundance and everything. And so it's tormenting me in my mind. That's why I stay away from certain places, people, and things. Because I already got to battle it already in my dreams, imaginations, and so I'm already battling it. And you think I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm just fighting and fighting and fighting, and I'm getting weary and I'm growing weary, and it's wearing me down, and it's all this going on in my mind, and you having fun, everybody having fun, and it's just killing me. Mm-hmm. It's killing me. I'm saying, Lord, huh? Yeah.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know you fighting yourself. That's the problem. You're supposed to be fighting. You think everything's the same. But you don't realize you're supposed to be fighting just like I'm fighting. Because it's scaring me that I got to see what you're doing and you don't even think it's a fight. Mm-hmm. That tells me you don't even know God because you don't have discernment.
That's like you in danger and you don't even know it. Right. Mm-hmm. Not about your whole life in danger. Everything that you connected to in danger. Because it can change, and it'll change. It ain't gonna get. It ain't even like I said. It won't go back to how it was. It's gonna be worse than it was every time. Every time it get worse. You know what? I was gone. Man, I'm telling you, I was gone years. I was getting high, gone years. Right? I come back out there, Jordan. Man, when I thought I was gonna start over again from when I used to get high. Like I started over. I started off from where I left off at, and boy, it was on. It was like. And I was like, look, and within about 30 days, I was greasy as a mother. I was sticking up. I was shooting. I was like, yeah. Last time it took me years to get to that place. Now within 30 days, I was already there and worse. And worse. It grew up with me. It grew up. It don't stay the same. It gets stronger. It get more bearable. It get harder to fight. And so we talk about the torment in the mind. Some of us are tormented in our mind. What people don't understand and really realize, some of us are tormented in our mind all the time. I'm talking about a saved folk. I'm talking about filled with the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues, folk. Even though we might not participate in the sin, do you know we still fighting to this day? Some of us are still fighting right now, even though it looked like it's peaceful, it looked like it's calm on the outside, it looked like everything is going right, we going to work, we paying the bill, we doing it. But do you know it's taking everything in me to do that? Do you understand that? Do you understand it's taking all that's in me and God to even keep going to work and pay the bill and not going to the left or to the right? Do you understand? And all that's going on in my mind when I'm saying, I just need to go home. I just need all that's going on in my mind. All that's going on in my mind. Shoot, forget everybody. I don't need and all that's going on in my mind. Well, I just do this. Then, I ain't gonna see them for about a couple hours. All this going on in my mind. A lot of the time. And so people that never go through that don't identify that. But when they look, because they look at it on a drug level, but they don't understand, we're going to get to other stuff. We're going to get to painkiller. We'll get to soap operas. We'll get to mutilation. We'll get to a whole lot of other stuff that you're dealing with the same thing, but you ain't acknowledging it because you got a class for it. Mm-hmm. Mine's drugs, yours food, or yours something else. You know what I mean? Yours TV. Or but it's the same thing. And it's still control. Just like that controlling me, it's controlling you. Every day. Every day. It's because it's a spirit. You can't look at what is coming through or how it's using it. It's a spirit. It's a spirit. It's nothing greater than that. What this for you because you did this. No, it's a spirit. And I drink and you got high or you. It's a spirit and it's a fight. It don't matter what it is. You know how small you think it's still controlling you. And God look at it the same. And God look at it the same. He don't say, oh, they did this one and then he did this one. And he will go to a higher heaven than me or a lower hell than me. No, you're going to do the same thing. It's the same thing. Because now you got an idol just like I got an idol. Come on now. You got, it's my idol was the drugs, your idol was the food or the TV or the pills or the mutilation, whatever. You got an idol too. An idol is an idol. It don't matter how it looks. And so now I'm talking about word. To disturb one or destroy one's peace of mind by repeatedly or persistently torment. We just been talking about torment and keep going through. Now we worry. Worrying is a sin. Do y'all know that, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, so people might say, well, you went out and drink or you went out and smoke. And I say, you worried. And you worried. What's the difference from me worrying, me going to get drunk and you worried? Same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. In God's eyes, it's the same, and it's a spirit of work. What that means is you use the spirit of fear. That means, and the Bible says this, God has not given you the spirit of fear. So that let you know that spirit, the fear is a spirit, and it comes from somebody, and it don't come from God. Mm-hmm. That's what it letting you know. And so if you worry, you in fear, which means you got a spirit, and it ain't God's spirit. He said, I gave you love, peace, and sound mind. That's the one I gave you. If you in the other one, you ain't with me. Yeah, you in the opposite. Mm-hmm. You on the other side. You switch jerseys, and you don't even know.
Worrying about everything.
Huh?
Worrying about everything.
Worrying. Worrying. That's the sin. It's a killer. It'll kill you. Your health. It'll kill you. You'll be paranoid. You'll be paranoid and everything. Yeah, y'all think I'm joking. I've been paranoid before. I'm telling you that right now. You'll be paranoid. You'll worry about everything. You'll become, hold on, OC. What's it called? OC. OCD. Yeah, my son, I'm telling you, when he was little, he was like that. His mom smoked crack and this and that. And when I got him, when they gave me custody, I had to find him because she didn't show up. But he was in the hotel, whatever. But when I came, man, he was messed up. He had no lights, candles, and he went through all of that. And so, like I say, like light switches or just any little thing, right? Man, I was like, what is wrong with him? Because he never had no control. He couldn't control the stuff that his mama was doing, the men that was coming in, the lights when they were want no food or getting burnt by. And so now it's like it's control. That's what it is. You gotta have your way. And he'll switch. He'll go. We had one upstairs, one downstairs. He'll go up here and do this, and then somebody else come in and do something. He'll go back out there. I said, what's wrong with him? Yeah, you think, he was like 10 years old. He was 10 years old, and I was like, man, what's that? And that's word. And then you got to have control. Why? Because you haven't gave God control. You took the control. You took the power. You sitting on the throne. You done made yourself God. Because you want your will to be done, not thy will to be done. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And so it talks about wrong, to inflict injury on another without justification. And it will cause injury to somebody for just no problem. Whether that be physical or just cuss them out real good for nothing. Just because I had a bad day. Just wrong. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. And so it says Satan is after the control of the mind. It's a book by George Myers called The Battlefield is in the Mind. I recommend it to everybody. That's a bad book. And they got a workbook to it. Matter of fact, I think I got a workbook to it too. That is a bad book. And it lets you know your fight is in your mind. And people be talking about the devil this and all of this. All this stuff. But your greatest battle is inside your mind. That's where the enemy attack you at. And your thoughts, your emotions, your will, your imagination. That's where the fight is. That's what, because we believe in a God whom we can't see. Let me tell you about that. Now we got to keep convincing ourselves through reading the word or through miracles or whatever way we do. We got to keep convincing ourselves that God is real even though we can't see him. We got to convince ourselves that it's still going to happen even when it don't look like it's going to happen. And so he get in our mind and say, well, it ain't no evidence. And when the Bible, he said, it ain't no evidence, so why are you saying this? When the doctor said this, or they said that, and he brought up all this stuff against you, and then the Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. So that means they got to be not seen, but they will be seen when you have faith. As a matter of fact, it said faith is the substance, right? So even though I can't see it, faith make it be seen. And so I believe it till I see it. And so he attacks us in our mind and so that we won't believe God at his word. And so the battlefield is in the mind. The battlefield, and that's what got Israel in trouble, right? Because they wanted a God like everybody else. They wanted something you can see. And when they served the invisible God, but he was manifested in power, things was happening. And they had gods that you can see and couldn't do nothing.
And had to feed
them. And had to carry them on their back. And had to fasten them to a tree. And that's what got Israel. They wanted to see and understand and know everything. Instead of trust the God that they say, instead of operating in faith and see his power work. And so, mind control is the chief weapon of Satan to snare the believer. Mind control. Mind control. And that's what the enemy do. He try to control your thoughts, your process. Now look, not just every thought, but the way you think. Right? So when you try to kill the thoughts that I have, we trying to kill the patterns or the whole way, the system that I develop of how I should think. That's what we need to get rid of, the whole thing. And then put this mind that's in Christ Jesus be in you. So you get rid of it. And so it tells us, be renewed in our mind, right? Be renewed in our mind. Be renewed. And we was talking about this day. How can it be? It said renewed because you once was there. What do you mean I once was there? He said because before you was in your mother's womb, I knew you. So you was already there. So it's called renewed because you want to get back to the place. You can't, like you said, the example is this. You only can renew something if you had it before. You renew a subscription when you had it before. When you renew a contract when you had it before. So you renew your mind back to how it's supposed to be. How you used to think. How you should think. How you should see things. And so the enemy's job is that he's trying to distort the way we think, the concepts that we have of God, and who we see God as. And so he get in our minds and he instill doubt and all this criticism and accusations and harassment and torment and all these things. And he try to change us for what we believe. From what we believe. From what we believe. And so his job, his chief job is control our mind. Because if you control the mind, you control the body. In the street, they say this. If you kill the head, the body gonna die. That's what they say, right? And so the enemy, that's the enemy. He knows that if he can kill our thoughts in the way we think and have us thinking fear and death and all this stuff, we will never live life. Last week we had a scripture that said, guard your heart. Keep your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. That's the heart's mind. And if he controls the heart's mind, he controls the issues that flow from it. Whatever happened, it'll come from your heart's mind. And so the scriptures admonish us to bring every thought into captivity. That's 2 Corinthians 10:5. The scripture says that the spirit of a sound mind means a disciplined mind, right? I want to talk about, it means a disciplined mind. Now, we say we're making disciples, right? But the root word, that comes from discipline. You can't be a disciple of Christ if you're not disciplined in the things you do. If you don't have no control over the sound mind of your mind, you can't be a disciple of Christ. Because to be a disciple of Christ, you got to be disciplined. That means you can't do what you want to do. If God is your Lord, he got to have lordship. How do you know what you're supposed to do? You go in the Bible and find out what you're supposed to do. That's when he become your God, for real. That's when he's your Lord, for real.
Every situation.
Every situation. All of it. All of it. And then address everything in the Bible. Every issue. Every issue in the Bible. Every issue you can come even think of is in the Bible. And if it ain't in there, if you got the Holy Ghost, you can get it.
That's it.
If you got the Holy Ghost. So it says, what time am I doing on time?
15 minutes.
Okay. So it is absolutely essential for a person to keep a sound mind or a disciplined mind, to become aware of the thoughts that are coming from the devil and the thoughts that are coming from the Lord. So you got to have a sound mind. You got to have peace. You got to have clarity. You got to have a disciplined mind to to find out who's talking to you. Because sometimes you'll think it's God, and guess what? It's the enemy talking to you. And some of us don't even recognize his voice because we don't read. I'm telling you, you won't even know his voice if you don't read. I don't care what you say. I'm telling you right there. You won't. If you don't read, you won't know his voice. You won't know when he's talking to you.
You transform into an angel of light.
That's right. Right, because the enemy transforms to an angel of light and disguises himself.
We have to learn how to cast the devil out of our minds just as God cast him out of heaven. You got the ability to do this, and I cast you out in the name of Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same power.
Every time.
Every time. And every day. Over 2 times a day. Whatever.
Every day. You got to do this every day.
Yeah.
Some people sit back and they let it grow a nest on their head, eggs, birds, and it all hair. Instead of you casting it out of your mind on a day-to-day basis.
That's right. That's right. So it said many times a person will enter a world of fantasy and imagination. We're talking about this. Lust. And something or covetousness or something they consider normal. What are you talking about? It's talking about imagination. Covetousness is this. You want something that ain't even yours. You want something just because the neighbors had it. You see something, you just want it. You just want it. You don't need it. God didn't tell you to get it. You just want to get it. Covetousness, that's covet. You want something that don't even belong to you. And it ain't even no reason to even want it. Lusting is this. It's wanting. Lusting ain't just sex. Lusting is the same thing. Wanting something. Got a strong desire for something that you shouldn't have. That you shouldn't have. That you shouldn't have. And your imagination, that can be anything. We with somebody else, or we at the club. You can imagine you at the club drinking a beer, whatever. In your imagination, you can do anything. And the enemy controls that real. When you use it for ungodly things. Many times they would dwell on what to do in case of an accident. Look at that. Look, the enemy will have you playing, well, what if this happens? Well, what if it catch on fire? Well, what if the tires fall off? Well, what if the enemy will have you so trapped up in your mind that you'll be planning for something that ain't even going to happen. I say, what? You'll be preparing. The world comes to the end. We're going to store the house up with all kind of food. We're going to put toilet paper. We need a lot more toilet paper, but we need more toilet paper. We need some beans. We need some bread. We need to do this. We need to put it. Accidentally, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. We got to be protected. We got to do this. That's the enemy. That's the enemy because you have no peace. You won't have no peace. If you're thinking like that, matter of fact, you don't even trust God, for one. But you won't have no peace. If you think it's something always going to happen, you're going to will something to happen. And so the enemy, he has dwelling on a case of an accident. This is a great counterfeit. When the devil will have you go over and over what to do in case of an accident. We call it preparing, but that's counterfeit. That's fear. That's scared. That's not trusting God. That's not trusting God. It said by accepting this and hearing this in our minds, we are giving place to the devil for it to happen. Well, you give them permission for it to happen. You giving them access to it to happen. You come in agreement with it because you're saying, I don't trust God, and I'm trying to work it out myself. And when you work it out yourself, you got to work it out yourself. Because you took it out of God's hand, and you say, I'm going to take care of this. And so it's your job to take care of this. And this thing, in your own power, you're not stronger than the enemy. You can't beat the enemy. You can't stop the enemy. As a matter of fact, he knows more Bible than us. He knows more Bible than us, too. And so this is a counterfeit for what we are supposed to do when these thoughts enter our minds. We should reject them and reassure ourselves that it cannot happen to us because the protection is available that the Lord has promised in the scriptures. Well, it ain't going to happen because the protection is available. What that mean? You can have protection. It's available to you. You got access to it. But if you want to be in fear, you can be in fear and allow anything to happen to you. But the protection is available. That means it's not automatic. It means you can have protection if you choose to trust God. But if you choose to put it in your hand, you give them access to whatever happen. And so Psalms 9, I ain't going to talk about Psalms 91. But it's talking about it should enter our minds and we should control the thoughts and the possess total victory over the situation. We should dispose of, cast out these thoughts of the devil and not entertain them. That means as soon as they come in, if you play around with it, entertain it too much, it'll get too strong. It'll get too strong. You know, if you think on a whole day, 2 days, then you get into a danger zone. We get into a danger zone. And so immediately, because we fight against principalities and the powers and spiritual wickedness, not flesh and blood, spiritual wickedness and things that's in high places. In high places, they know the word. In high positions, they know the word. They know a little bit more than, and everything they try to exalt itself against the knowledge of God. And so it's coming against everything you believe about God. Or when they say come against the knowledge of God, or if you don't got no knowledge of God, you're already doomed. Because if you do got knowledge, it's coming against. If you don't got knowledge, you stand a chance. You don't even stand a chance. You don't even stand a chance. And so it's important to capture our thoughts by apprehending our thoughts, understanding our thoughts, and being able to look upon our own thoughts. We can bring every thought into captivity. That means we got to identify them right away. We got to set up some alerts and know that, hold up, this ain't God. This ain't it. Why I'm worried about this? Why I keep worried about pray? Learn how to pray right then. Right there. Not, you ain't got to call about it right there. I don't care what, just Jesus, I need help right there. That's a prayer. That's a prayer. Jesus, I need, why I keep thinking, God, help me. Take that out. Take it out of my mind. Take it out of my mind. That's a prayer. There ain't all these words and all that. In the name of Jesus, take it out of my mind. I'm worrying too much. I give it to you, God. And that's a prayer. And that's as soon as it happens. Because the longer it lingers, the stronger it gets. The stronger it gets, the harder the fight is. Said many times a split personality could, stop the personality from changing by simply taking charge of his own thoughts. That's for a person that got split personality. You got to fight two people. It's hard for me to fight the one that's in me. My own flesh. If I had two of me, I'd be in trouble. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'd be two of me and trying to do what they want to do. You know? And so it's important to realize, this talking about Dungeons and Dragons, important that things like Dungeons and Dragons and other games of witchcraft put our mind in gear for Satan. Yeah. When you start getting into the games and the Dungeons and the Dragons and the witchcrafts and the Harry Potter and all this stuff, that opens you up to a whole new world. It's a whole new world. It opens up to a whole new world of witchcraft. Of witchcraft. That's black magic, white magic, whatever you want to call it. It opens you up it gives access to the demon to believe you be believing in another power that ain't even from God. That ain't even from God. And so the witchcraft activity becomes a commonplace. Just by these games, just by the movies, just by the books, it becomes a place where the devil got a foothold, and he can set up strongholds, and it can be activity for common. You'll be susceptible. You'll be a conduit of it. It can access through you and by you. It can come into your house by you. It got access in because you believe in it. Because you got knowledge of that and you believe in it, and you playing with it, and you tamper with it, and you like it. And so it's in you, and so it got access to come through you. Or to use you. And so it said the casting of spells, the inducing of charms, and the practicing of witchcraft takes over the entire mind, and thus gives way to the mind-controlled spirit, whereby the mind can be controlled by the devil himself. Look at that. And so when you get to this place, you be saying, I'm saved, right? This is what happened. You'll be like, I'm saved. But because you playing with this, you won't even know who talking to you. You don't know who giving you the ideas or what decisions to make because you're tinkering with these things. And you don't know who it is. You don't know who talking to you. As a matter of fact, you don't even know what's wrong. You can't identify it wrong. You can't even identify that it's wrong. And so we're now just talking about colors and stuff. This is going to get you. It says this is also the reason for psychedelic colors in the Rubik's Cube. And the mind-boggling disco lights, and the lights are sold with rhythm colors. All these colors affect the mentality and aid in the taking over of the controlling mind. Do you understand that we got this in churches right now?
Yeah.
They play, yeah. These lights can give you a euphoric feeling. Just like they play, that's like they got mood rings, all this stuff. It plays with the lights, the music, the type of note, and all this. And so we got churches with the kind of light, and because they give a false sense of the Holy Spirit. Good God Almighty.
Like you at a concert.
You get a false sense of the Holy Ghost. You get a false sense of a power. Ooh, how you feel when you get the Holy? You get that feeling by the lights in the music, the type of lights in the music, the type of colors that's going on, the type of background. They creating or imitating the Holy Ghost. They're trying to produce a Holy Ghost, a self-produced Holy Ghost, feeling, euphoric thing. Ooh. That's why I think they got lights in the smoke in the music in the club.
Make you feel so.
Huh? Why you think that? Why you think we can be at work and depending on how the lights is, you can feel sleepy or be wide awake? You go to some jobs, I've been to some jobs and the light's so bright, shoot, I'm wild, I'm around that job like this. Then I got some jobs, they got them all low. I be like, man, I'm tired, I don't know what. I did something all day, I don't know why I'm tired. And it's just because the lights dim. It's just because the lights dim. It's just because the lights dim. And so we gotta watch for all this stuff. Because it's mind control.
Where I work at, they come in there. I work at night, so there's one, like maybe two people who come in here and they'll turn dim the lights. I look at, I'm like, what's this, the red light station? And I'll turn where my desk is, I'll turn the light on, like to make it bright. Because I'm like, I'm not going to sleep.
It's mind altering. It's mind altering. We do it to our babies, right? You do it to your baby sleep, right? You don't leave the light bright on, right? You say, I'm gonna dim it just a little bit. Well, I'm gonna just put on the little thing in the wall. Why are you doing that? Because they're going to say, it's time to go night-night, right? It's time to go night-night. I'm going to tell you what, in the jail, this is how they got us in the jail. God showed me this when I was praying. In the jail, right, in Norfolk jail, and look, when they don't want us to fight, they'll have freezing in that junk, right? Everybody be in the bed. We can't put nothing else on. We don't got no more clothes, right? And we'll be like that, right? Look, God Almighty. Look, hey, man, what you doing, man? We'll be like 60 hours a day. Ain't nobody moving. People don't want to go to the bathroom or nothing, right? And then in the summertime, another time, in the weather, it ain't cold, man, we be killing each other in that junk. When I say I ain't lying, I'm talking about people die in that junk. They die. I'm talking about die, fighting, all kind of stuff, getting high, all kind of stuff. And so, and when they want to control it, I noticed that. God showed me that. And they got the light thing going on too. They'll do that light thing. Oh, but it'll be freezing and won't nobody be moving. Look, we won't even be fighting. Won't nobody fight. Why y'all think in the summertime, soon as it get hot, we got all food, we got like a food, right? We got like a food, everybody died. Everybody, all this. You know what I mean? And they did that in the jail. Because I was like, man, what the? And God brought it back to my memory. They'd be so quiet. But man, I ain't moving out of this joke. You know, ain't nobody watching TV and that. Dude, usually we fight over TV. Ain't nobody just shoot. Ain't even shoot. And man, it's cold in this joke. You know what I mean? They talking about some germs. I say, no, y'all controlling it. That's y'all doing. Y'all ain't don't because it's germs. Because it's germs, yeah, right. Yeah, y'all keeping us in the bed. You know? And so it's things like that. And so, let me see. I'm going to stop. How much time I got, Bird?
About a minute and a half.
All right, so I ain't going to get into soap operas. I'm going to start at soap operas at the bottom of the page tomorrow. Next Tuesday. So I'm talking about Beelzebub. Beelzebub is the enemy.
Can't come tomorrow? This is good.
Beelzebub interferes with the correct operation of gifts. Look, Satan, Beelzebub, that's Satan, interferes with the correct operation of your gifts. We can have gifts from God and be using them the wrong way. Do y'all understand this? Just the singing or whatever, that's a gift from God. We look at like Whitney Houston, like so Whitney Houston stuff. That's the gift. The Bible says the gift is not without repentance. That means he don't take it back. Right? So when he gives it to you, he's giving it to him for to worship him. And so we choose what we want. And Beelzebub, Satan, he'll have us using it for something else. Now we got prophets in God, right? The prophets using it for God. And the people that's tarot card and reading it up, they got the gift, but they're using it for another power. You see what I'm saying?
A medium and people like
That's
that.
right. That's right. And so we got gifts, but we choose to use it for and Satan will have us using it for other stuff. And so you can be gifted in God, right? Be anointed in God, or be gifted in God and be using it for the devil.
And it'll open up the door for everything.
And it'll open up for everything else. And guess what? The people who looking at us will get confused and we suck them right into it. That's why sometimes you got to chop heads off. You know why? Because it'll get to the other people. If you got it at the head, if you got it at the top, it ain't no way the other people that's going to be right. They don't see right. And so it'll spread. And if they do it, they do it, well, why I can't do it? And so sometimes you just got to cut some things off. You got to, or it'll affect everybody else. It'll grow. It's like a cancer. And then it's talking about mind occult. The cult, what we talking about? It say, will provide a powerful pulling force to remit a demon who was cast out. Seal off this by the power of the blood. That's everything. The power of the blood will cast everything out. But we got to kill it daily. We got to draw the sword on our flesh, on the influences on our mind. We got to watch what we watch what we're watching, what we're listening to, who we're around. All these things because they enter in through our eye gates, through our ear gates. And so it floods us and it get into our mind. And you remember, you didn't even want to see it, and you saw it, and it's haunting you, and you keep seeing it over for years and years and years. And you didn't even want to see it. You know, I done walked past conversation, I didn't even want to hear it, and I still remember the conversation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or I done flipped past a picture, and then 2 years later, and she had no clothes on, right? I was supposed to tell y'all that. I'm the pastor here. Okay, well, anyway, Lord help me. But look, I scroll past it, right? I'm telling you. This is how it works. Because the enemy got power too. I scroll past it. I won't look at the picture. I'll tell you I won't look at that. But I scroll past it, right? And when I scroll past it, you know, a week later, I can remember every detail about it. Yes, I didn't even know I can remember every detail about it. I didn't even know, right? I'm going about my business. I went past it. And then 3 days later, I'm walking out, oh, Lord have mercy. And I see it in my mind. I see it like, how I remember that? I'm on there looking at the chick. But now she's looking at me. In my mind. And I remember everything. What color, what was going on. And I'm like, how did that come? So you got to guard yourself. That's how you guard your heart. You guard your heart by the things you hear and see. It said you guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. If you don't guard your heart, your issues going to come from the inside of you. Your heart, if you don't guard your heart's mind, the issues going to flow, and we going to blame everybody else. We going to be mad, but he shouldn't have done this. And guess what? They coming from you.
And don't even know it.
And you don't even know it.